there's a lot of people that review comic books, and they probably don't notice the degradation in both quality, story writing, art style, and just blatant nonsense that's being pushed into comic books, because you don't notice when they do the slow boiling of the frog. But me, a person that rarely touches a comic book, when you finally go on a website and you're browsing and you're thinking like, what could I read? And you see something like this, you go like, Jesus Christ, what on earth? What has transpired here? So now the Hulk, okay, female Hulk, which used to look like this, by the way, is looking more masculine than Thor himself. And like, who drew this? It's like a rectangle. It doesn't even have like a human body shape. I am thinking that she's going to punch this flaming chick and says that it is ma'am. I am literally just bewildered. And honestly, this is an art style that is growing like a cancer into the West. It's just like no rhyme or reason. It started, I think, in 2014 when a lot of people that were critics were complaining that women are being sexualized or something. And this leads to rape culture, because you see, if a man just sees a titty in a comic book, like something that's drawn, he goes up and rapes a woman. But from 2014 all the way till 2020, that knowledge has been lost. So the ethos, the lore on why you shouldn't draw sexy women is completely out the window. People don't remember. They just know that it's bad to do it. And it has led to this really bizarre art style where the men are drawn like Greek statues. They're like the Egyptian gods of old. And the women, well, they look like this. They are being beaten with the ugly stick. Someone pushed them out of a window and they make sure that they hit every branch of the tree on the way down. It is absolutely ridiculous, and you get to see it in comic books, you get to see it in video games, you get to see it everywhere. The men look like they're on the cover of some beauty magazine, while the women look like they're into some special needs school. I mean, honestly, they keep saying it's like, oh, we need more female characters so the women can identify with. What type of woman wants to look like this? Seriously, do you have a friend? Like, maybe I don't have a study or a survey, but tell me, like, do you have a female friend? Like, someone with a vagina that looks at this like, yeah, this is what I want to be. I want to look like that. Holy shit. And FYI, my insider that tells me about Diablo 4, apparently it's going to look the same. The men are going to be beefed up, muscular, semi-naked, while the ladies, they're going to be covered up so much that even a conservative person from the state of Qatar would look like that and would think that, yeah, that's a little bit too much. It's a little bit too much. It's like, can you reveal a little bit so that we know that it's a woman underneath there? But anyway, right, so, with that said, should I tell you about the story of She-Hulk, right? Like, should I convince you to pick up one of these comics and give it a read? Because it's really brilliant, okay? I assume that the writer did a poll or a survey and found out that this is what people are interested in reading, rape. That is why people get comic books, to find out more about it. It's the hot topic that all the teenagers like to know more about. So we have this story about She-Hulk, and she's a lawyer, right? She tries to help her client win a case against the man who got raped. And apparently he got 18 months. Now, it's not really explained what he did. It's just assaulting a woman. Well, that can be anything from spanking her ass, groping her titty, or pushing her up against the wall. Now, 18 months for that, to me, sounds reasonable. I mean, you guys know, if you follow my Twitter, every single month, there's at least 2 women that are school teachers, and they force themselves upon their kids. The media tries to use every word but rape, but it's actually what is it, right? And they get less than 18 months. They get less. So to me, like, this seems, alright, no, it's reasonable, especially since we know that if he goes to prison, he's going to get beaten. They try to split his wig, as the gangsters call it. It's like it's not going to be a nice life for him, and he's going to have a sex record when he comes out. So but Let's assume that, you know what, 18 months for assaulting a woman is not enough. All right, maybe he should have gotten 20 years. Fine, fair enough. Like this is the story. All right, okay. So what does She-Hulk do? How does she get quote unquote social justice? Because she already got justice, right? Like, this is what the court said. This is what the jury said. This is what the judge said, right? She got justice, but justice isn't good enough. We need to get social justice now. So the next day she looks into the mirror, and you can see just how badly drawn her face is into the right image. It's like, Jesus, that's just beyond creepy. It's like the artist never seen how a woman looks like in real life. But anyway, right? So she gives this psychopath smile, and then as the guy is tied up on his way to the prison, she just crashes the police car. She just smashes the police car into bits, with absolutely no concern about the officers that are driving, who are innocent, by the way, who might have their own families, that they need to pay for. And I'm watching this, and it's like, not even the Punisher is that brutal. Like, the Punisher at least has like a moral code. He doesn't hurt police officers. In fact, the Punisher would probably not go after people that are already sent to jail. He would go after the type of people that are escaping justice. But no, this is comic books. This is the absolute state of Marvel Comics 2020. And as you can see here, like, again, this character is supposed to be a lawyer, right? Like, she is supposed to uphold the law. Any acts that are like this would get her disbarred. But no, like, for some reason, it's perfectly okay to kill a cop. Like, look, this guy here, I mean, I assume he is dead. What did he do? Why does he deserve this? Why does no one care about him? Like, this is so ridiculous. This is, I guess, social justice in display. It's not the justice of the courts. No, this is the quote unquote the social justice. Who wrote this book? Who wrote this book? Oh, I see. Okay, right, now we know. I am genuinely shocked to find out that manga is selling better than Western comic books. I am shocked to realize that a manga about Jesus and Buddha living together in an apartment sells better. Like, people are more interested to read about Jesus and Buddha having a bromance than to read about rape. And I guess the self-insert of the author into its own comic. And I generally don't understand, like, why do they keep self-inserting? Like, it's your fantasy, all right? It's yours. Why do you want to force it upon the public? Do people even want to read this? Is this what you think most people are interested in? Like, I'm not saying that your fantasy is not important, but if I were, hired by Marvel, first of all, I would kiss the feet of the executives that gave me the opportunity. And secondly, the next thing I would do is to go on the Twitter to find out what people actually want to read about and write about that. Because they're the ones paying the money. They're the ones coming up with the cash. They're the ones that get to decide if I get to stay in the company or not. But then again, you know what? Like, if you know anything about Marvel, you will know that the people that manage to get most comic books canceled are the ones that get promoted. If I was part of some conspiracy theory, I would say that is not on purpose. They just want to kill Western entertainment. I can't explain it any other way. I try to understand, like, why are the people at Marvel so masochistic? The only reason is that the mouse has a lot of cash. It keeps pumping cash into this failed comic book industry that is kept alive, I suppose, for the fact that it's been so long that this industry has existed, that now it's like an American landmark. But honestly, it would be much better if they just scrape it and they turn She-Hulk into just some keyring accessory or something to sell merchandise. Who wants to buy merchandise that looks like this? Would you want to have something like this put on your table? Be honest. Be honest. It would hound you at night. It would keep you out at night looking at you, and as you look back towards it, It reminds me of other companies that have like I need to find the name for this art style, okay? Where the women look as ugly and as covered up as possible, while the men look as revealing and as sexualized as possible. And I don't mind that men are sexualized, but I generally don't give a fuck. But it's like, like some equality would be nice. If both men and women would be covered up, that's fine. Or if both men and women would be exposed, that's also fine. But pick one and stick to it. It is so obnoxious. Because I know it's not that the artist wants to draw them that way, but it's being told by the higher-ups to draw it that way. There have been plenty of interviews where the artists were told to tone down the tits, to cover it up, why you do this? What's the purpose? It's clearly not what people want to buy. People want to buy manga. And by the way, what's even funny, like there was this chick on the Twitter, I forgot her name, but she was working with the comic book industry and she was an editor. And she was saying, people are saying that comic books are doing pretty poorly, but manga is selling well. And I'm like, motherfucker, that's your competition. That's your competition. It's like the McDonald's saying, people are saying fast food doesn't sell well, but look, KFC is selling quite properly. It's like, who cares? You're not going out of a business. I'm going to stop now before I go into hate speech, but I just want you to know that this is the absolute state of the comic book industry. Okay, if you like this video, please share it around. It's just some Romanian guy ranting, because I got nothing better to do at this hour. But I'm trying to understand this from a capitalistic mindset. It's like, why do people have businesses? To make money. Why don't you want to make money? Why do you refuse taking my dollars away? I'm not going to pay for another issue of this shit. In fact, I'm going to tell people to stay away, to not buy it. You're throwing money away. Who reads this? Who?